Well, hello there. It is I, the man, the myth, the legend. I swear I said it like every 2 episodes. It's fucking ridiculous. It's me. It's your boy. I'm back again, recording for the second time in 30 minutes. I did it. I'm super cool now. I'm consistent. Not really. So we're still in the Landover Capital Center. This, of course, is our pay-per-view, Living Dangerously, ECW Living Dangerously. I'm ready to get right into it. Tonight, main event, Abyss versus Taz, ECW World Championship on the line. We've got the Hardy Brothers taking on the Suicide Blondes for a future chance at the ECW World Tag Team Championships. We've got, actually kicking off tonight, Kurt Angle defending the ECW World Television Championship against longtime opponent, I guess, Mikey Whipwreck. We've got Chris Jericho taking on his constant harasser in the Sandman, and we have a handicap match as Rob Van Dam takes on CM Punk and Christopher Daniels of Raven's Nest. Without further ado, let's do it to it. So, 81 beat open up, really quite good. But that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Kurt Angle defeated Mikey Whipwreck in 1944 by submission with an ankle lock. Kurt Angle makes defense number 10 of his ECW World Television Championship. So, this match is really back and forth. Really back and forth. It's really, really, really close. And you can say partially it's because Angle wasn't taking this seriously, but it's very clear about 5 minutes in, he realizes he needs to take Mikey seriously or else he's going to lose. It's kind of like maybe Kurt Angle's success made him forget that Mikey Whipwreck is a beyond capable wrestler. Whipwreck, multiple times, almost connects with a whippersnapper, but it's reversed out by Kurt Angle. Sometimes into a German suplex. Other times he just drops down, picks the leg, kind of rolls over, attempting for the ankle lock. And we get this really clinical approach from Kurt Angle once he realizes he has to exert effort to get this one done. He's using his technical skills. He's using some of his Olympic training, and he picks up the victory here against Mikey Whipwreck to open up. We go right into Paul Heyman's office. As little Guido comes in and he says, "Paul, I beat Big Dick Dudley on Hardcore TV. I want a match tonight. I want pay-per-view money." Paul Heyman says, "Pay-per-view money, eh?" He looks over at Christy, and he says, "Pay-per-view money. All right. I got an opponent for you. Somebody's barking up the exact same tree as you." All right, great, Paul. When is that?" And he says, "Just keep your eyes open. You'll know." We move into Chris Jericho vs. Sandman, which actually does really quite well. 83 B+. Great carry there by Chris Jericho. And over that had great wrestling and good heat. Chris Jericho defeats the Sandman in 16:22 by submission with the Lion Tamer. So I'd like to think that the points this match gets uncomfortably violent. And I mean that wholeheartedly. The Sandman is focused on not really beating Chris Jericho, but hurting him. Sending a message that the Sandman is not to be taken lightly. The Sandman is not to be fucked with. Sandman, I'm trying to think, traps Jericho's leg between a chair and the ring post somehow. Imagine whichever angle you want for that, and then just opens up on it with a kendo stick. Maybe throws a beer can, a full beer can, right at Jericho's head, smashes him in the skull. It's really quite a brutal match, kind of putting over the fact that Sandman is really, really dangerous. But in the end, Jericho's able to pick up the victory with the Lion Tamer. We're going to have Sandman actually pass out, not tap out, because Sandman's a hard son of a bitch, right? He's tough. Double tough. Moving forward, Tosa Tsuba, Tajiri, and Hayabusa come down to the ring. They're going to take a seat, getting ready to watch the Suicide Blondes take on the Hardy Brothers, who will get a chance at their tag team championships in the near future. And as they said, I believe once on an episode of Hardcore TV, it didn't matter. Didn't matter who they fought. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who they fight. They just want the competition at this point. You know what I mean? Here we go. This match does really, really well as well. ADB. And about that had superb wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Suicide Blondes defeated the Hardy Brothers in 1735 when Christian Cage defeated Jeff Hardy by pinfall with a Suicide Pact. Don't remember the Suicide Pact. It's like the, I forget what they call it. They actually called it a move. It's like the Sidewalk Slam reverse DDT combo. But yeah, the Suicide Blondes pick up this victory here. Both tag teams are just great together. They're fucking magic, as they would be IRL. Some good shit in here. The Hardy Brothers taking this loss to the Suicide Blondes. The Suicide Blondes will, at some point in the future, face Tosatsuba. Maybe we get a shot of Tajiri and Hayabusa on the outside, you know, taking notes or something like that. You know what I mean? Showing that they're studying their opponents here. Shane Douglas. We get this like kind of comedy segment with Shane Douglas, Lance Storm, Chris Candido, and the girls of the Triple Threat. It's like a fake like board meeting pitch, and Douglas basically says that I'm going to win a lot of matches, and points at like a curve up, and he says then I'm going to win the World Championship, and kind of like a point where maybe we plateau for a moment, and then it's nothing but success, and it's just straight up through the roof, like goes off the chart type deal. I don't know, just a fun little segment I had up in my head, giving Shane Douglas another chance to kind of plot out his plan, his vision, what he's doing. He's going for that championship. Taz or Abyss better watch out after tonight, or somebody in the future. I mean, there's no guarantee that Douglas will get that shot. There's a lot of other dudes, like Jericho just beat the Sandman. We'll have to see what Rob Van Dam does later tonight, because if he beats two dudes in one night, he's surely got to be back in the title picture. You got to think that other members of Raven's Nest, Raven himself even, are gunning for that belt. What would happen if Abyss, would Abyss just hand the belt over to Raven? Maybe. Maybe. What else do we have on this roster? Kurt Angle is still television champion, so I doubt he's going for the world belt. But, you know, if somebody ever beats him for that, and I truly do mean if, you know, he's got to be looking at the world title. Yeah, there's a lot of competition here in ECW for that world title. Moving forward, here's that match that we talked about. I'm giving Balls a win because of his performance on Hardcore TV against Shane Douglas the other week. They had like an 80B to open up the show, which I didn't expect. Just giving Balls some momentum here. Because he actually is quite a solid worker. He's quite okay for everything that he's doing. And so, you know, just rewarding him a little bit. Giving him a win over Little Guido, who's absolutely shocked to see somebody as big as Balls Mahoney as his opponent. And Balls, rightly, pretty much batters him. Backstage, we see Jerry Lynn bump into Tommy Dreamer backstage. And Jerry says, Tom, you're here. You're actually here. Tom says, yeah, I took a week to think about everything you said, everything we've been through, and how I felt in that moment, man, when we were just wrestling. And, you know, it was time for me to refresh myself. And I can't thank you enough for helping me. And of course, I'm going to find some kind of way to repay you, but just like, I feel like the old me again. And there was a little while there where it seemed like everywhere I went, there was just darkness. There was just nothing going right. My personal life was falling apart, even though, you know, I'm a dad now. That in and of itself scares me. You know, I certainly wasn't where I wanted to be in the business, because everybody wants to be up top. But even just like where I am now, I didn't feel like I could be that guy that I think I need to be. And I thought about walking away, but I didn't. And you stuck with me, and you helped me find whatever was missing, and I still don't really know what it was I found. But I'm me again. And thank you. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you. And the two hug. And it's nice. It's a nice moment. Steve Greeno is going to give us a talk about his life on the road. What is this? What is this fucking segment? Dude, Steve Carino, I just wanted him to cut a promo, just see what he could do. Steve just, since he's our resident freelancer, right, he just hops and goes around and travels the country with other promotions. He just talks a little bit about it, what he's seen, things he's done, people he's wrestled, like a Q&A session, getting to know Steve Carino a little bit more. I mean, he's around for the next, 2 months or so, might as well just keep using him. Moving forward, I believe it's a handicap match. Will RVD figure out a way to get through it? It actually does quite well for having absolutely zero chemistry from two guys. So yeah, in a decent match, Rob Van Dam defeats Raven's Nest in 1608 when Rob Van Dam defeated CM Punk by pinfall with a 5-star frog splash following a botched interference from Daphne. So you can kind of see how that plays out. This does quite well. I mean, if those two had any chemistry, I mean, not even any chemistry, if they just had no chemistry, you know what I mean? Not bad chemistry, but no chemistry, they were just two fucking workers. That would have been great. But this still is quite serviceable for what I wanted it to do. Then yeah, RVD finds a way to do it. Holy shit. I talked a little bit earlier about what the fuck that means for the title rankings. I'm still not quite sure, and I fucking rate this show. This is a really big win, and sure, it's not totally clean, but how the fuck could it be? CM Punk and Chris Daniels are both top of their game athletes who are young, and they're hungry, and they're motivated by a cause. And RVD finds a way to defy the odds to, come over that. I just said defy the odds and come over that? What the fuck? Anyway, you know what I mean. Shut the fuck up, alright? Shut the fuck up, dude, watching this. You know exactly what I mean. But anyways, Rob Van Dam, He finds a way to do it. He's beaten pretty bad. He's beaten pretty bad by these two. It is a handicap match. Divide and conquer, you know what I mean? But all of a sudden, oh shit, Ravens and Nest kind of come to their senses, and they're about to put the hurt on RBD. It's very, very clear. Daphne's barking orders. She's kind of like Raven's right-hand man, but maybe more CM Punk's right-hand man. We're still not sure about how everybody's relationship works yet in this stable. Like I said, dude, Abyss and Percy Pringle seem very separated from the rest of this group. Really not sure how it works. And maybe there will be some developments in that soon. But anyways, they look like they're about to beat him down. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out. Wait. What? And the lights come back on. And who is it but Sabu? And he's there. He's just pointing to the sky in his pose as the lights come back on. And Punk is initially taken aback. He's like, wait. Oh, fuck. And Daniels kind of looks at Punk really quick, looks out at Daphne, and, goes to throw a right at Sabu. Sabu catches it under his arm and kind of just, suplexes, tosses him off to the side, throws Daniels. Daniels kind of falls out of the ring, and he's like, what the fuck just happened? Kind of still stunned, taken aback. Punk quickly looks over at Daniels, looks back at Sabu. Sabu gives him a massive fucking super kick, and then climbs up to the corner and hits him with a giant fucking elbow drop. And RVD kind of comes back to his senses and looks up and sees Sabu, and he himself starts to kind of backpedal a little bit, what the fuck? And Sabu looks at RVD, eyes Daphne on the outside, and she's kind of trying to help Chris Daniels back up. Punk's kind of clutching his chest on the apron, massive elbow drop from a pretty fucking big guy. And Sabu just fucking bolts. And RVD watches Sabu run, and he looks back at Punk, who's kind of starting to get to his feet, and Daniels, who's kind of starting to figure out what's happening. Daphne is pointing at RVD. RVD fucking dips out of the ring and kind of runs after Sabu. Are they a team again? Was this an act of friendship? Or a hostile attack towards the Nest? Does it matter? Maybe. And just like that, we're into our main event. This is interesting. This is probably about the rating I expected from this. I actually expected it to go a little bit better on the part of what the fuck? WrestleMania is gonna be 2 nights? That's really fucking stupid. Anyways, not talking about current wrestling, talking about my cool wrestling. It's about what I expected. I mean, it could have been positioned a little bit better. I think originally I thought I had the Steve Corino promo here, like just before this match, which could have helped this match a little bit, but it's okay, because I wasn't expecting this to do tremendously well. Much like in real life, it's pretty much the story of this match. Abyss might not be ready for this. Like, and he's a really dominant athlete, right? Or creature, whatever the fuck he is, whatever the fuck he identify himself as. He's really dominant, but like, I'm just not sure he's ready for the top. And so Taz is kind of able to game plan around Abyss's size, use some of his violent tendencies against him, and locks in a Taz mission on him. And Abyss passes out. Doesn't tap, of course, because Abyss is double tough. He's an animal, right? He doesn't really get tapping out. He's not necessarily a wrestler. He's a destroyer. Maybe we actually have Percy Pringle throw in the towel or something like that. Who knows? But Taz looks pretty fucking good here in a match that he was severely thought of as the underdog. Like, a lot of people coming into this, if you had asked the locker room, probably didn't think Taz stood much of a chance. There's just too much of a size difference. He never had to fight Mike Awesome. He never had to fight, other really skilled big men. Bam Bam is an example. Bam Bam was here for the longest time. And Abyss really is his first kind of test like this. And Taz gets it done. Yeah, and that's going to quiet even more of the doubters of this man. Taz making a quick case to be one of the better world champions in the history of this company. And does so by taking out pretty much a monster. And so we end the show with Taz as champion, but okay, Chris Cruz apparently was pretty weak, and also Chris Cruz might be like a racist or something like that. I don't remember exactly what Chris Cruz was, but he said something that was really stupid, and he was either racist or homophobic or sexist, something like that. Please don't sue me, Chris Cruz. I'm just a random guy, all right? I just don't remember whatever it was you said. Like he's ever going to see this. But, we have Joey Styles point out that, Abyss is still really young. He's still really new to ECW, and the fact that he's in a world title match this early is really impressive. A lot of guys work a very long time to get here, and Abyss ended up doing it in a couple months. This is not the end of Abyss or his run as this dominant monster. It's probably just the beginning. And sometimes a setback like this motivates more than it detracts. Especially in somebody like Abyss's case, who I don't think fully understands detraction. He just sees setback. He doesn't see it as a knockdown. Taz beat him. And Abyss is coming for blood. Whose blood will it be? I don't quite know. Overall, show gets an 82B. Nope, just a B. 82B. Up in 11. Really good shit here. I want to give Taz some props. I want to give Jericho some props. And I want to give Kurt Angle some props. All these guys here tonight put on really good matches in which they, by far, were carrying the ball, you know what I mean, compared to their opponents, kind of the weaker workers. They by far helped out their opponents tonight, Whipwreck, Abyss, and Sandman. And so, yeah, it's another pretty decent fucking show, and I'm fucking proud. We're just going to keep on rolling, man. You know what I mean? We're on to our next stuff. I don't think we've got a pay-per-view now for a little while. But either way, I'm ready to fucking rock and roll moving forward. I gotta take a look here. Saturday night, anything interesting? Not really. A couple emails. Nas is back. Louis Anderson actually did, I think, our first .02 buy rate ever, I think. Jericho thinks that this is going to be a star. RBD likes Chris Candido, which, okay, that's cool. Chris Candido didn't say anything, though, in his angle. He kind of just sat there, so whatever. You can think that. You're wrong. Have we ever done a 0.02 buy rate. Living dangerously to 0.02. This was a TV. Oh yeah, okay, we have. How many did you get? 13,000. Okay, so yeah, we're up. I mean, our pay-per-view buys are up. How much did November Remember get? Yeah, I got like 4,000. Yeah, he got 4,000 buys compared to 2,000 where we're getting. Yeah, we're getting like 13,000 buys this month, almost 14,000 buys, which is really quite nice. That money's coming in. Yeah, that pay-per-view money, where is it? Yeah, that's a big jump, I'll tell you that much. It kind of looks like this will be an ongoing pattern where it's like the months that we run pay-per-views, we're gonna make money, which is really cool, really really cool. Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you guys in the next one. Silly Tuck signing out.